think that is all okay. Right. Hi. Hello. Uh, I hope we're all doing well. I'm in my new place. I've moved out. I've moved out to a new place. It's still in Brighton. I'm still within the Brighton area. Sorry, I just had to shout myself. Yes, shout myself. Um, but yeah, I've moved. I'm in a new place now. Much bigger room, much more space. Very happy with it. Um, I'm loving my new roommates. I'm loving the atmosphere. Really, it's great. I have had my first quiet day in after a long time, and it's been good. I'll be honest, it's been really good. I can't say I have any complaints. I mean, I spent literally all of today organizing my room and kind of decorating it. Kind of lackluster right now. I'd like to decorate it more. I mean, you can see over there the pinboard's kind of empty. Up there, it's decorated. Don't get me wrong, but I want to put more fluff on it, if that makes sense. Make it look nicer. But that's not why we're here today. It's been a minute since we last talked. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I kind of just want to talk. It's no set game plan. I do kind of know some things that I might touch on, maybe not. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, going over things. I guess the first one, the easiest one to go over, is change. It's been a lot of change in my life recently. With work, with my relationships, with YouTube as well. I mean, I haven't been posting on YouTube. I haven't enjoyed that fact because I've been really wanting to post on YouTube. I haven't had anything to post. The unfortunate part of not having a vlogger lifestyle is you don't film everything. But yeah, I mean, what is to say about change? I guess to start, change. It's scary. Let's start with that. Change is scary. It's a very common fact, and everyone knows change is scary. It's one of those things that you can't necessarily avoid change, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to accept. I like to go ahead and say there's two kinds of people. There's the people who are afraid of change and just say that they're afraid of change, and then there's the people who lie about it and say they're not afraid of change or whatever. Regardless, I say that there's two types of people for it, because regardless of what kind of change it is, it's always going to be a change which is scary. Because we as people, we like patterns. We recognize patterns. That's why a lot of things for us, like just coloring in patterns. I mean, hell, look at wallpaper. What's wallpaper? A pattern. What's, I don't know, video games? It's a pattern. Music, it's a pattern of a sort. It's instruments playing in a certain pattern. Everything is a pattern, and change is going through that pattern in a different way. Or maybe it's a new pattern, that old pattern you can't see anymore, or whatever. It's not inherently a bad thing. It's not something that we go ahead and decide that just out one day. It's like, yep, that's it. We can be spontaneous. That can be something, but that is more so, I think, is lack of a pattern. Let's say we have a day off. A very quiet day off where you're not doing anything. The lack of that pattern will go ahead and cause you to find a pattern to cling on to. And that's kind of how life is, it's patterns. Something that we go through every single time. Go to work, travel there, do the work, talk to people, have fun. Maybe we're not having a great day, so we don't go ahead and do it much. Maybe we go home, make food, watch YouTube, watch a TV show, listen to music, whatever. It's a pattern. And changing that pattern tends to be quite scary for people. Even myself, moving out to this new place, it's been weird. I mean, I'll admit, obviously I know my route home, but it's like walking a completely different route. It's weird, it's strange. If anything, it's like, oh, I don't go that way anymore. I don't have a reason to. it's not a bad thing to be afraid of change. You know, it's natural. But I don't like the people that can't admit they're afraid of the change. I'm the second person. I'm the one that says I'm not afraid of the change. But I am afraid. It's the truth. You know, this whole moving out thing, I've been terrified for it. I didn't know if this was going to go well. Hell, half of it, I was just petrified and thought, damn, what if the room is not big enough and can't fit all my stuff in? It's actually been really good. I managed to fit all the stuff that I needed, so I mean, crack on. But like that, you know, you don't find that every day. And a lot of the time, people, they like to go ahead and say that, oh, I'm never afraid of things, all this kind of stuff. It's okay to be afraid. It's just if you can't accept it, that's the bad part. What I mean by that is this. A lot of the time, especially in terms of... what's a good example? Your food. Let's say every Tuesday, yeah, you come out, you're like, okay, I'm feeling a bit of a takeaway. You have, I don't know, Domino's, right? Pizza Hut, whatever. You have a pizza. Let's say you have pizza every Tuesday. When you don't have that pattern, or you cut off that pattern, it's not a pleasant experience because you're so wired into it. But the difference is that if you go ahead and make that a problem, fair enough. But not being able to sit there and accept the fact that that change is maybe permanent is the difference. If you let change go ahead and affect you in a major way where it hurts others, it doesn't work out. But understanding what that change is, accepting the change is important. Obviously, there's certain things in terms of change which we can't go ahead and say, yes, this is okay. But it's change nonetheless. And the debates about change are also exceedingly important. I mean, one of the best examples is any discussion that is had, as at 10, is discussing some form of change. Not all the time, but a change. Let's say, for example, we're talking about a video game, new patch notes. What are we talking about? That change. Do we like the change? Do we not like the change? Do we think it's a good idea? All this kind of stuff. It's conversing that and understanding different aspects of that change is really important. And I think the best way to paint that picture in terms of change is life. Life is ever changing. Really philosophical, but I like philosophical. At the end of the day, there will always be something to go ahead and change your plans, be it whatever it is. I could go ahead and turn around tomorrow and be like, I'm going to go ahead and just chill, sit at home, do nothing. My plan might change. I might go for a walk. I might go to the pub for a drink. God knows. God knows what I'm going to do. But what makes that even better about the change is the fact that at the end of it all, I can sit there and I won't be completely affected in a negative way or a positive way, but it will affect me. Sorry. There we go. Because it's change. It's change. It's something that's unique. It doesn't go ahead and solidify one thing, but it doesn't go ahead and neutralize another. Especially with today, we have a lot of change going on. I mean, again, my life, it's changed so much. I've moved house. I'm no longer in a relationship. There's a lot of changes very quickly. It's not a bad thing. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to roll with punches. And I'll give a story about change. It's a bit more personal, but I haven't gone too far into it. And I'll go a bit more into it today. My first ever breakup. If you're around for that long, you'll know a bit about it. I'm not going to share all the details. But basically, to cut the story to the chase, we were already having a lot of issues at the time. We didn't exactly go ahead and go through the best form of breakup from either side. I didn't do well, neither did she, because we're imperfect people. That's not bad. But basically, the breakup happened at a concert. I paid for the tickets, and at the end of the concert, she broke up with me. I did not take it well at all, and I wish I'd taken it better, because that's the truth. I could have handled it better. I didn't, and it hurt her. It hurt me as well, because I could have done better. But I learned from that. My life changed drastically from that point, because I had 3 years of comfort that I knew so well. But then that was it, and I changed from that. You know, I look back to those times where about everything that I did, and I wished that I'd done better, but I can't now. If I could, I'd turn to her and my ex. Sorry, if I could, I'd turn to her and I'd apologize straight away. I'd apologize because I'd like to. I think she's owed enough to go ahead and get an apology. Were we perfect people for each other? No. Did we hurt each other? Yes. But still, it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is just to grow, to change, ironically. I'm not the perfect person. I'm going to say that now. I'm not a perfect person. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. A lot of which I intend to grow from. Some of them maybe I don't realize that I need to change, but I'll only know until when I need to. But change in life especially is something that will always come out of nowhere. You'll never expect it, but accepting the change is the best thing you can do. Being afraid of change is not a bad thing. Always question change, but make sure that every single time you understand what you're doing. You understand the change that's happening, and you accept it. Maybe if you can change that change, if that makes sense. Make sure it's not like a complete change to one thing. Like maybe, it's a certain aspect of your life that's getting changed. You're just like, no, I don't like that. If you can change it, do it. Change it. If you don't want to change it, you don't have to. Obviously, there's certain things that are within your control or aren't in your control. Whatever you can keep in your control, do whatever you can to keep it in that. But always be ready for that change that you can't control, because sometimes it just happens. You can't even force it. It just happens. But that's the thing. Change, it's never a bad thing. Not always a good thing, but it's never a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, it helps bring people together in certain aspects, and it pushes people apart. There's one way that I like to go ahead and interpret change, and it's in terms of relationships as well. Not like with intimate relationships, just relationships with people. My mom actually said this to me. Sometimes in life, the people you love the most are the people that will leave you when you least realize it. And that's because you've learned everything you need from them. You can learn so much from a person, or the moment you've learned everything from that person, and you've gotten everything you need from that person, they will leave your life. Maybe by choice, maybe not, whatever. It will happen. And it's a scary thought to think, because there's a lot of people in my life that I don't want to leave. There's a lot of people that I care about that I'd love to go ahead and see right. But it's just how it is sometimes. It's not a pleasant experience, and I wouldn't ever say to anybody that they have to just get on with it. But it's just how it is. I know for a fact that, especially for me now, if I got given the chance at any point in time, given the opportunity, I would go ahead, meet all the people that I have met, and give them the appreciation they deserve. You don't realize it, but people around you can affect you a lot. Especially because those people around you are the ones that push you to be better. Aside from that, just go ahead and remind people that they matter to you. It may not seem like a lot to one person or another, but when they need to hear it the most, it can be a major thing. Not a majorly good thing. Maybe they don't really care, But again, it can help people. And that's one thing I always strive to do, is to help, to be supportive. Just make sure that people are happy. Because I struggle to see when someone smile, you know? Putting a smile on someone's face, it's a good feeling. And I think that, if I'm honest, more people should strive to do that. So, aside from change, I guess I'll talk about kindness. Be kind to people. Don't get me wrong, people do not deserve kindness sometimes. There are people in this planet who genuinely do not deserve it. Even some people who have wronged you, they do not deserve it. However, there is a moral high ground you can have, and that is being kind to them. You don't have to be the kindest person in the world. You don't have to go ahead and give them everything. However, if you're nice to everyone, even the worst people, it doesn't naturally put you as naive. You know, naivety comes from, I'm being nice without understanding I'm being nice. Being nice and understanding you're being nice, and then, you know, someone taking advantage of that, whatever, that's not on you, so to speak. Because if you're aware that, okay, I'm being a bit too nice here, but I'm going to let this slide, it's up to them. It's up to them. You stuck by moral code, which maybe is you being nice. But at the end of the day, they went ahead and chose that choice. You can't control what people do with what you do. You know, you can't control people and how they react. You can't go ahead and stop somebody from, you know, just being a prick, really. But what you can do is strive to be better. And that's one thing I always try to do. I mean, even with how I've been as of recent, I've just tried my best to be the best I can. Because it's nice. It's nice to be nice. And do those people deserve kindness? Probably not. Probably fucking not. I mean, some of them, I'd love to punch in the face right now. But, you know, all that aside, that's it. You know? I was nice. I was kind. That's it. And the same way goes for you guys. You know, you can be nice and kind to someone. It doesn't mean you have to give them everything. Because there's a limit. And there's a line. There's a line between kindness and love. And that line, people, sometimes they don't go ahead and see it as how thick it should be. But there is a big divide between them. Because kindness is, you know, holding the door open for someone. That's a kind gesture. You know, what else can you do? Saving, you know, giving up your seat for someone. Having small talk with someone. Whatever. But showing someone care and affection and love. Not in a romantic sense, but in terms of friendship, family, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot more of the little things that people don't realize, you know. Maybe it's sitting in silence, not having to converse with that person. Maybe it's being able to get on with your day comfortably around that person. There's a lot of things that go into it that people don't realize. Fuck. People don't realize. There's so much to being a good person that 9 times out of 10 people forget. Kindness can be for everyone. Love is for the people who deserve it. I just know that divide. So the other thing that I want to end off is that be kind. Even if they don't deserve it. Be kind. Be the better person. Because at the end of the day, being the better person. Yeah, at the start it may not feel great. But coming out of it, knowing that person maybe isn't going to be a better person. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling to be able to sit there and be like, I'm better. I know I'm better. Sounds corny as fuck. But it's true. If you don't believe me, then fair, but it's true. Aside from that, I don't really have anything to talk about. I mean, I'm pretty tired. As you can probably tell. There's another yawn coming. There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it off on that because I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. And I can feel my throat. It's already giving out. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, night, morning, whatever. I'll see you guys later. Peace.